your energy is so strong. Vibrate so high that anybody that's wishing to do evil upon you, it shall be revealed. Vibrate so high that any evil entity feels uncomfortable in your presence. Vibrate so high.
Hello world, we back at it like crack at it. It's your boy Cross, Boss Cross, Big CEO, Cross Your Heart. I want to say salute to everybody that's joining the channel, that's been subscribing. I really do appreciate it. But what I want to get to is the industry really over, right? It's everything about to crumble. So what I want to do is play some stuff because we got all this stuff about the accusations and indictments that went on with Diddy, the DEA. You got people like people stepping down, the Kevin Lau stepping down. And is the industry just been a whole propaganda, whole smoke screen? Because perception is a crazy thing, right? So let's start off in some videos and let's just see what people really speak about when it comes to the industry. And is it really, at this day and age, because you got everything like social media, YouTube, you got all these different platforms that can make you end up being a star if you put in the work, consistency versus having to send in demo tapes, things of that nature, right? So let's just get into this.
70 million streams. If I own 20% of the song or 25% of the song, and it did 70 million streams, and it's $3,000 per million stream. So it's 3,000 times 70.
Right.
So 210,000. Spotify collects the streams, and then they pay the publishers. There's a fixed percentage on the publishing side based on the relationship between Spotify and the music publishers. So that $210,000 that song made had to be bust down. My take on that 210, my take home was probably $1,500. And I went, this is how the math worked. It was this simple. Look, it was this simple. If I'd have put that song out myself and only had 3 million streams, I'd have made $10,000. So I stopped giving records to artists. I'm like, I could give you this record and you could fail and I can get a percentage of your failure, or I could take 100% of my failure and I could take that to the bank.
Right.
What was the biggest shock for either of you guys when you got to the industry?
Half the industry is broke. And that shocked me.
That's
I
a
would
good
see,
one.
I would see celebrities. I would be around celebrities, rappers. No offense, but a bunch of them that's like wearing all the big jewelry or on Instagram. It's all a facade, and that's when it was like for me. I was like, wow, okay, I can breathe.
Yeah,
because I don't need to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
Because y'all ain't even keeping up with the Joneses yourself.
It's rentals.
It's rentals.
It's rentals. It's like Miami.
I'm
like
honest,
whenever they rent the cars and drive around or whatever, and then like return them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Lambos.
Yeah.
It's
all the Lambos. Yeah.
Or even with jewelry. I think I didn't realize a lot of that was that like, oh, they buy these pieces to wear in a music video or at a carpet, and then they take them back to the jeweler. These are like their actual pieces when it comes to rap and hip hop culture.
That's very true. Because even when I worked in hip hop, it was interesting just to see and hear stuff. Like, and again, not trying to put anybody on blast or whatever. I could name people if you wanted me to, but correct. Like, you never know. But that's the thing is, like, at the end of the day, you do not know. And that's why you cannot look at somebody and be envious.
Never.
Over it.
That's such of a fact. Now, y'all heard that. That's one of the clips where they break it down and they say that's perception, right? Where you see these people with these flashy jewelry, they got the cars, but at the end of the day, they don't own none of that stuff. Half the stuff is rented. And they show you, they portray it, they show these youth and these kids, and they know that it's not attainable without having a job, because most of these rappers, again, don't have any money. As long as they get their little kit, they good and they fine and they dandy. And these kids need to understand that. So let's keep going into this and let's see what this next one is about.
You seeing ain't real. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time somebody's put me on game when it comes to the entertainment business.
You know, I wrote raps, I wrote verses, I wrote songs for over a decade and had never earned a penny. And of course,
how long you wrote for?
Over a decade.
So today, Ray Daniels tweeted that about 50 artists and label execs were laid off from Atlantic Records. And I can't even lie, I kind of saw this coming. Now, I'm only speaking from the artist perspective when I say that artists gotta stop chasing record deals. It is no longer valuable. And it's especially no longer valuable when you have tools like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, social media. As an artist, if you're using these platforms to produce content rather than consume it, you can build your own brand. We are in an age where the labels are gonna have to come to you. We don't live in an age where you make demo tapes and send them off and go to talent shows anymore. That's the 90s, my boy. This the new age. Also understand that you're competing with people like Casanat, Drewskis, the Speeds. These are the people that can command attention. The streamers are the new movie stars. So the best thing an artist can do is become your own brand. So coming out and just pushing your music, yeah, that's fine. You know, and it really only works if you're super, super, super talented or if you have a super huge team behind you.
That's so true. If you got a super huge team behind you, you can make anything happen, which again is the machine or the industry or your homeboys or whatever, y'all putting something together. But they got to come to us. They got to come to the content creators, the ones that's putting in the research. Like you said, again, there's no more where you got to get on the grind. And that's why even with the situation with Puffy was like, man, you got to get it out the dirt. You got to go do this, because he had to go through some of that and endure some of that stuff, which they call put in work. But nowadays, again, there's so many platforms, you don't have to do none of that. And think about it, when he said that, people don't realize, like with the Atlantic, I think it was that they did a layoff. I think 100+ people was laid off. YouTube Music is laying people off, like, because again, people are starting to learn to create and promote themselves as a brand. If you can get out here and push yourself as a brand, then they gotta come to you, because other than that, it's the middleman. There's nobody else in front. Especially if you put in the work and you know how to do the programs and do everything, advertise yourself, promote yourself, get yourself a managing team or a promotion team, or get somebody that can actually can schedule your dates and things of that nature, your clothing line, your LLC, your retail license, all these things. And then you get out there and promote yourself as your rep, your salesman, your owner, your CEO. And take pride in your brand, because a lot of these guys don't have brands. That's why you see a lot of these artists now, where you see the Rick Rosses are trying to step out there. People want to embrace more of the people, because they can't get no money off shows. People are not spending that much money on shows anymore. People are not spending money on something that they really don't need or they can hear on a record. So a lot of times people don't realize they don't want to do that no more. They don't want to sit there at a concert. But back in the days, especially right before COVID hit, when COVID hit, that's when a lot of that stuff changed. So let's keep on going and seeing what other people think.
If you're not getting it touring, or if you're not getting it through other means, this music shit is a rap. I'm saying all of the musicians are broke. Relative to what you bring in.
Now, I do think that there is plenty of ways to make money as independents. Low overhead. It's not expensive to make these albums. You're making them at home or wherever, and you're building a reasonable fan base, and you're selling physical and merch. Not everyone is broke, but in terms of like the superstar thing, I agree with you.
But like you said, so what you're bringing in, what you getting. And my conversation now is not really about. It's not really about independent acts.
Yeah, okay.
My conversation is about what's going on in the majors. They tricking y'all with the words in these contracts. They tricking y'all into thinking that y'all are real partners. They tricking y'all with the, hey, you own your stuff. The recent layoffs tell me that. You don't see all these people getting laid off?
They laid off like 40%, right?
Everywhere.
Media too.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And look, and to me, based on what you're saying, that went to our AR conversation. The second that we can have 6 people instead of 60, y'all gone.
So this is definitely not a drill. Atlantic/Warner is planning to fire and let go over 100 people. I'm sorry, 150. Actually, 170. And not only is this super unfortunate for the employees that are affected, I do see optimism for them, but I also want to share my small, itsy-bitsy critique, or commentary, if you will. I don't want anybody coming after me. But basically, the company is restructuring, and so many people are going to be affected by this restructuring. We kind of already knew this in the beginning of this year when Universal did their mass layoffs, when all the other tech companies did their mass layoffs. But what I find really interesting, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard this morning that they are restructuring Atlantic into like a distribution company, which in theory, I guess it makes sense. But if they honestly think that's the model that's going to make them financially sustainable, they're inaccurate and wrong. My humble opinion. Now, for the artists and young executives that are affected, although it fucking sucks to get fired or lose a team member, please use this as fuel. Sure, you could work at another label, sure. But use the internet to your advantage and build your own shit.
It was a time where I thought that everybody had money except me. I would see motherfuckers do these music video shoots and motherfuckers got chains and cars and all type of shit. And I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 motherfuckers. So there was a time where I was really thinking, bro, why do everybody got money and I don't got no money? Is it because I'm independent? The truth is, everybody didn't have no money. But, you know, they don't tell you that because the label job is to make it look like you got some money. We'll give you the car, we're going to give you the cosigns, we're going to put you in the studio with this motherfucker, we're going to have cameras following you around everywhere you go. I was thinking like, damn, everybody getting money but me. But nah, everybody look like they got money except me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I got caught up in the layoffs, but it was more of a layup than a layoff for me. Okay. Because I knew this was coming.
For you, or you knew it was coming, period?
Both. I knew it was coming for me. Last year around this time, I was having issues with my contract, and that's when I was like, something's wrong. Yep. And I was like, let me start setting up my plan A. I've always had a plan A if I had a job. And the plan A was whatever I was hustling for, you know what I'm saying? So if I had a job, if I was a custodian, I was doing something else on the side, you feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
So it was never one thing that I had all my eyes in, you know what I'm saying? So with the music business, it's no different. I have never done every single thing the right way the first time. I'm not perfect or none of that. I've had some ups and downs, but I've had more victories than losses.
Google fired its entire YouTube Music team while the employees were in the middle of testifying before the Austin City Council. A group of less than 50 employees were testifying about their unionization efforts when they were informed of their sudden termination.
They just laid us all off.
Oh.
Yeah, they just laid us all off.
We just all got
Our jobs are ended today, effective immediately.
Last year, the YouTube Music team voted to unionize under the Alphabet Workers Union, seeking better pay, benefits, and a flexible return to office policy. However, Google refused to negotiate, arguing that because the employees are contractors, their contractor Cognizant is responsible for bargaining. But the National Labor Relations Board ruled that Google and Cognizant are joint employers of the YouTube Music team. And the NLRB said that Google's refusal to bargain with the YouTube Music workers is illegal. Still, in a statement to Fortune, a spokesperson for Google claims the Austin-based workers are not Google employees, saying Cognizant is responsible for them. Google also denied that it fired the workers, saying this was a routine end of contract that was agreed on with Cognizant. But the workers say the termination...
See that? That right there tells you, man, this industry is getting out of control. And if you want to put your whole talent base into something that you don't believe, not necessarily believe in, but put all your trust in, you're crazy. And like that man said, even though he knew it was coming, you can sense when things are about to change and the shift is about to change in this world. And I think that's what we need to get back to, having the gift of discernment. Because at the end of the day, you can't tell me all these guys are walking around with these big old chains on and they holding the money, that they're doing such great. When you see at the end of the day, a lot of them are not even touring. You have some that are, local, or they started off local and their fan base grew like that, genuine. But the majority of the big name ones, they've been built by this machine, which we done seen. I mean, Diddy created a bunch of people. He created a whole bunch of talent from the machine. In the acting world, a lot of the ones where you don't see it, you're like, man, that's not even a great actor. After a while, the actor becomes great and gets an award for it. Because again, perception's everything. So I'm going to end y'all with this one. And like I said, again, if you really, and maybe I'll jump back on there, but we're going to watch this one right here. And y'all break this down. Anywhere from Master P is breaking this down, where he's telling people product. Again, product outlasts talent all day long. So on that note, y'all make sure y'all get my merch, KrossYourHeart.com. Go to it. Y'all see it. Again, man, product outweighs talent every day. Please invest in yourself. Invest in your talent. Invest in your gift. Because if somebody else is willing to spend that money on you, guess what you're really worth? I'm just saying.
I'm really starting to think that the music industry and the celebs that are in it have been fooling us all this time. I do not think any of them have money at all. I mean, cash poor type shit. And there's a good reason for that. People like Gucci and Christian Dior and Louis Vuitton, they are the Rolex and the Bentleys of the fashion industry. So they do not need a celebrity to showcase their latest design to sell it. They don't. So when you see these rappers and singers and stuff in the music industry showing their clothes and their houses and all that stuff, I really think they're getting all that stuff on credit. In the music industry, it's like, you work for me, we give you all these gifts. Why do you think so many people are in some real fucked up contracts right now? And also, in our community, we always talk about if we had millions of dollars, how we would buy up the block, how we would help our people and stuff. And you don't see them doing that, and people think it's because they're selfish. No, I think it's because they are cash poor and they really cannot help you. It brings me to this. The music industry is very successful in creating images into demeaning us in every single way, and they profit and make lots of money off of that, and we buy into that every time we support them. To us, it's just entertainment, but it really is a real life plan. Now, why would little old me feel this way? Because none of it makes sense. I'm telling you, they are a walking billboard for companies to get black dollars. And why? Because nobody in the entire world spends like black people. No matter how broke we are, no matter if the rent needs to get paid, nothing matters when it comes to us getting them dollars to look good and to look like we also have the celebrity lifestyle. Like, it's all a plan, all of it. It's so you can be broke, so they can get the cash from you that they're not getting. Now, I know that may sound crazy, but I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, something just is not right here. And then when you think of C-list and D-list rappers and stuff like that, it's not that their music is trash. They try to make it seem like, oh, they just aren't relevant anymore. No, the talent is still there and always have been. The problem is if a brand isn't able to use them to further push whatever agenda they got going on, none of us black folks is going to want to buy into whatever that rapper or whoever, whatever they're selling. If they cannot use you, they don't want you. And I think that time tells us, even with the government, if they cannot use you, you do not have nothing to give them at all. You serve them no purpose. So once again, these companies are the Bentley and Rolexes of the entertainment world and the fashion world and all of the government. They do not need no advertisement. So all this false narrative of, oh, they're just advertising this and they give celebrities free stuff here and now, they know they're giving them fucking free shit all the time because they're not actually physically paying them with cash. They're getting our black dollars. Let that sit. So in short, the music industry and celebs and designer brands are in cahoots with each other to make it look like they're getting money to buy those expensive things, but it's really just a marketing plan to take our money. Nobody spend money like black people. Peace.
But I'm out of the music industry because ain't no money in the music industry. And I know people might get mad and trip, but I'm just saying, y'all know it's a lot of things that we used to do. It ain't no money, and you know it done tapped out. They trying to figure out how to make money off of streams. When Snoop put a post up, said, man, I sold 1 billion streams. I only made this little money. Where the millions at? We knew where our money from because we had tangible goods. And that's why I got into the product game. We could actually have tangible goods. I told people all the time, product outweighs talent. Product gonna be around when we not here. Michael Jordan is still successful because of the shoes, not because him shooting balls into the hoop. That been over.
Especially if you're signed to a label, you can't control your release dates or when things get released. Also, musicians don't make a lot of money in the music industry. That's why you see a lot of people, they have brand deals and brand sponsorships. That's where the coin comes from in touring. But like music itself, you're actually losing money. I learned this because I would produce Sis and I's records. Producers outside will get paid a huge lump sum, but because I would produce Sis and I's records, I couldn't get paid because I was the producer within the group. I don't know if it changed within Grammys, but you know, like how they have producer of the year. I learned it from Imogene Heap because, you know, she produces a lot of her her stuff. So does Grimes, so does Bjork. They couldn't be contenders for producer of the year because they were the ones producing their own bodies of work and not for others. And notice how those are just the women I named.
They sign you $3 million, 5 albums. But your album term might say you can't drop an album for 9 to 12 months. So if we do the math,
that's some years.
That's years. 4 years, 4 or 5 years, maybe even 6 years, because the average artist ain't just finna drop no album exactly on the 9 months. So it's still gonna be a stretch. You're creating, and then while that's going on, they still gotta spend the money into you. So it's doubling down. So it's like, most artists, you don't see no check from the label, but the one that you sign.
Rap ain't where it used to be. Sales ain't selling no more. Fucking, like, motherfuckers is not buying tickets like that no more to come to them concerts. Like, you feel me? The economy fucked up. Like, what? And these people want you to hold music? This shit fucked up out here. I do rap. If you go on the DSPs like Apple Music, Spotify, all of those places, and you look at where my projects is listed under, like what genre they listed under, they all listed under hip hop and rap. I got a solid fan base. And that's the thing too, like, I won't lie, y'all. Like, that's another thing I'll tell y'all. Like, the economy is so fucked up that, like, it's so many people going out on tour in October. I gotta see if I'm even able to go out on tour in October. Like, you feel me? Or whenever we supposed to go out. Like, I gotta see, cause this shit fucked up out here. Like, everybody don't got it right now. You heard? Everybody don't got it. The world fucked up. People don't got it. I want to be able to, you know what I mean? Like, but y'all got my word. Like, when I do go out on tour, I'm gonna put my tickets as low as I can for y'all. That way it's fair for y'all and fair for me. You know, fair for everybody that got it. But I'm gonna put my tickets as low as I can for y'all, because I know how the economy is. All right, shit ain't the best.
So y'all see that right there, all the way from rappers trying to figure out how to sell their lowest possible tickets. A lot of artists didn't go out on tour right now. You know what I'm saying? Because of Taylor Swift didn't really do too much tour dates because her stuff got canceled. You're talking about Sexy Red didn't do a lot of them because of her shows, because people don't have the money. Yes, you can get a big spurt of that money, and it does. It comes from our culture. We'll spend money even if we know the rent's got to be due, even if the lights getting finna come off. But we gonna get that outfit, and we gonna go support those people. But and in turn, those same people are not giving back, putting back where they supposed to, and the money they just throwing away, or they're making it look like they got money. If you notice, it make it look like they got money. If they were so happy getting money, you wouldn't see a lot of these people argue about their deals being so messed up. So y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Is the industry really crumbling? Is it over? Was that perception? This whole Puffy thing is going to expose a lot of things. There's a lot of things that's going on. But what it's telling us is, man, if you got your own gift, your own brain, product always outlasts talent. So put your talent to use to create your product. Peace.